Minister of ICT, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of ICT, Mr. Phil and you, distinguished guests. I would like at the very outset to welcome you all to this workshop and wish you very effective participation in the discussions that will follow. May I be allowed to thank the organizers of this workshop, including the Minister, for allowing me to share my experiences on the CCTLD issue with you. I think it's necessary at times to have things in perspective, and I hope that this incursion into the history of CCTLD is appropriate. The re-délégation of our country domain name is what we could call un dossier sinistré, a distressing issue that has been addressed now for more than a decade without any positive outcome. Before 2005, an astronomical figure had been branded whenever the CCTLD was being reclaimed that made it quasi-impossible to even start any kind of negotiations. In December 2005, after a new government came into power and after a new ICT was appointed, reclaiming .mu was made a priority. By the beginning of 2007, an international expert, Mr. Phil, whom we welcome again in Mauritius, was with us, and a roadmap had been worked out in 3 phases to allow the country regain its CCTLD. In 2009, the African Telecommunications Union, ATU, held a forum in Mauritius on CCTLDs in Africa, where the need for every African country to manage its own CCTLD was stressed. The Mauritius Forum, in fact, became a catalyst for many African countries to reclaim their domain names, and various international and regional documents mention the progress achieved during this forum held in our country on this issue. The argument that the management of the CCTLD had to be outsourced, especially technically, became irrelevant as it was felt that there were reliable communication networks like submarine cables now serving African countries. At the same time that the ATU conference was being held in Mauritius with the support of Icta, the ex-Minister of ICT happened to sign an MOU on behalf of the Mauritian government with the entity managing the .mu, setting out the steps that shall be taken in view of allowing the country to regain management of its CCTLD. The ex-minister went to the press to proudly proclaim that the .mu issue had been resolved once for all. Unfortunately, as of date, and contrary to what we heard at that time, and to commitments that were taken, the current .mu CCTLD policy, technical and commercial functions, all those are run by the same private entity, with no say of the local internet community of Mauritius on any of those components. The guiding principles for domain name under .mu would have been established in a transparent manner after consultations and endorsement by the local internet community, but these had not been honored. Since discussions started with the private entity, Internet Direct Limited, in 2004, the figure of 4,000 .mu domains have been flagged out. And 8 years down the line, it is still 4,000 .mu domains as indicated by Mr. Kwok himself. Clearly, .mu domains are not the obvious choice of Mauritians who are not aware of their CCTLD as they should, and who have gone more to Facebook or to .com. This stagnation can be partly explained by the fact that registering a website with a .com domain costs 300 rupees yearly as compared to around 2,000 rupees yearly for a .mu domain. I'm confident, however, that with the current minister and with the process that has started, that the process that we are engaging upon this time will not be designed to just gain time, and that the change to the proposed operational model for the .mu will indeed democratize access to our digital identity with a strong Mauritius branding for our people. The present situation is clearly detrimental to the development of online local content and to the promotion of our online define identity as a cyber nation. In short, the present .mu administration setup is denying the Mauritian citizen of his right to be empowered in the management of one of its communication resources, which is the .mu CCTLD. Many of our young people do not know about the CCTLD. They are more conversant with .coms because no national media campaign has ever been launched targeting them to buy a domain name, to buy a domain that belongs to Mauritius. No media campaign has even been launched to encourage the Mauritians, young Mauritians especially, to own the internet by creating innovative .mu websites with local contents. Capacity building has almost been nil, and many .mu sites are not even properly updated. You go there, you find information that dates back since 1 year. And as the public consultation paper proposed by the ministry rightly find out, there should be a wider .mu usage, as there are innovations expected in the VoIP communication over IP-based networks, especially with the use of IPv6 capabilities. This will facilitate the introduction of ENUM, electronic numbering, where domain naming system could be conveniently used for mobile and fixed telephony. While I have no doubt that the present workshop will address the issue at hand effectively, we might also be well inspired to assess what is being done at the level of SAIGF, Internet Governance Forum, South Africa, as well as at the level of AFTLE, African TLEs, to be better aligned with the best practices on the African continent. We might have a few things to learn from the experiences of countries like South Africa that has addressed this issue successfully, from other countries like Tanzania, Kenya, and Egypt, and so many others. And also to say that the ICTA has since day one made it clear that it favors a multi-stakeholder approach in dealing with the .mu re-délégation, as on so many other issues, and that our main concern and focus remains the democratization of use of a domain name with a view to empowering our citizens more and more in the virtual space. I might also wish to add that this has also been the position of the Ministry of ICT throughout these years, and that it might not be appropriate, correct, or with the right information to pretend that the government is snatching the .mu from any private entity. So I wish and pray, Honourable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, that this workshop will represent a breakthrough in settling